Hey Brian, do you remember around 10 years ago when we were looking at different ways to bring the Hermle technology to the North American market? Our team came up with the tagline, "Step up to Hermle." And since then it was a crazy wild ride. We had a lot of companies actually step up and invest in it tomorrow. And together with our customers, with partners, we were able to grow in an industry that was not really able to keep up with the pace of the technology that is available.
And what makes that fascinating is that there's a lot of stories and content out there that talks about the technology, its capabilities.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why we're launching our series called Hermle Heroes is because we want to explore the people behind the technology, the people who are making these decisions, and the ramifications of these decisions and how they've been playing out for them.
Perfect. And I just have the right customer for our first video. It's Linda Tool. They're a machine shop in Brooklyn, New York. It's one of the last standing machine shops in Brooklyn. They have a great story to share. And in addition, they have a rooftop garden where they grow their own tomatoes.
And you know I love tomatoes.
Well, let's go there.
Dealing with the different vendors, Hermle was the most responsive in a timely fashion. They had great solutions. The cost was there, but what we saw was, and I'll go back to people are priceless. It wasn't just the hard goods, it was the people behind it that helped sell the machine.
We saw how it just made the business more robust financially and made opportunities for the people in the shop to grow and make a better living.
And the two of us, we started to grow things and started to acquire more and more machine tools, and eventually up until, let's see, 2019, I think we had 28 employees, and then we got rocked with the aerospace downturn. So, but we've always invested in technology, always looked at new things that came out and ventured into them.
We couldn't have survived as a company if we wouldn't have kind of chased technology. And some of it is the big expensive platforms like a Hermle 5-axis machine. And then, but there's also other pieces of the technology. So there's zero-point tooling and software. You know, we run a platform called Hypermill, and it has the first time on our first small Hermle, we had a big heavy piece of stainless steel, and there was a cycle where we took a 12mm carbide end mill. We were able to just plunge it and make a slot on the entire depth, and all of the experienced machinists in the shop saw that setup and they all came around and they said, "That's not going to work. That tool, forget it. It's going to chatter, it's going to break and stuff." And the very first time we ran it, it just hummed and cut trips. And we were all kind of, okay, this is a whole different world that we're in. Our first Hermle, the C22, the reason we bought it was because a big aerospace customer of ours had offshored a component, a critical component of a landing gear part for a commercial airplane to India. And they were having a lot of trouble. It's a long, different part of the world, and they weren't getting quality and stuff like this. And we kept saying, "We want this part, we want this part." And we're now the sole source for that component. We brought it back from India. I mean, this is probably the part I'm most proud of.
Yeah.
And that machine has
August of 2014 has been, well, maybe November of 2014, we've been making that part day in, day out.
If those two machines disappeared tomorrow, what would the world be like for Linda Tool?
Pretty tough, because through the downturn from March of 2020, I guess, the two machines that ran all the time, consistently, day in, day out, were the Hermles. We still maintain product on those two machines.
I would think the biggest selling point for the young generation is you get to get a shirt with their name on it. Right? Like I've always wanted to wear a shirt like that.
logo
But not
shirt?
use my name Brian. I would just put like Ralph or something
Ralph?
on it. I think it's cool.